Okay, after you punch your holes in, then I attach the bottom first, and I just use the brads, the small brads, because I don't like to, I like for these to fit down into this hole, and if your brads are too big, they don't fit very well. Plus, when you come to the other side, if you have a lot of hangover in the inside here, it when you put your paper in, it kind of like pushes your paper out. So let's put the bottoms in. Okay, now we have the bottoms attached. And now we just put our top back on. And this is a little bit trickier. Just lift it up, put it through there. Okay, I'm just going to do one on each side so to hold it in place. Okay, there. Now you just put your other two in, and make for sure when you put them they're going sideways, not up and down. And that's the hinge on your box. As you can see right there, your box opens and closes without any trouble. Okay, now I made the top the same way that I made the bottom, the same type. I put my ribbon around it. I used my ruler to find my center, and then I lined up my bottom of my closure with the bottom edge of the box, and right where I had my center I put a hole in there, and that'll show me right where I need to put my bottom in. And I do that the same way. What I do is I hook my closure closed like that. I hook it on there just like that, and then I'm going to lay the box down right where it should be. Let's see if I can do it up at this angle. Okay. Make sure my box is lined up straight. My lock is straight right on the line on the bottom. And then I'm going to mark . I'm going to mark where I want my first two holes to go. Make sure everything is straight. Okay, then I'm going to do just like I did the back. I'm going to take this off, punch my holes, and then I found the longer brads that I have with the longer back, because this is a lot thicker, so I need the longer brads to go through. Okay, after I put that on, then what I did was to do the inside. I took my binding strips that I had made, and what I did was I lined them up. I cut them, but this time I just cut them straight to the size that I needed them at. And I put them all around the edge, and then I put them up all the sides. And the reason I did this, and the way I do it though, if you notice, before I had my tape on the inside. This time I put my tape on the outside. And all you do is put it in the corner, flat to the bottom, and push it into the corner, and then open it up. And the reason I did this gives me a nice white edge all the way around. When I lay my pieces in, like this is my bottom, you would tape it and lay it in, and your bottom is all centered in there. And when I do the sides, this is the sides. You know, you put your tape on and just put it straight down there and adhere it in. And if anything is over the edges, you know, if it's not exactly to the edges, it's all white so you don't see anything, and that gives it a clean finish on the inside. Okay, I'm going to do it to the back. Just wedge it in there, and if it's a little tight from putting all the tape together, all you do is take it and shave off a little edge of it. I'll put it in after I put my mechanism on the front. And another thing that I do is I take the what is this? Tie-vac. What I do is I take the tie-vac. I cut little pieces of the tie-vac, and I put tape on them, strong adhesive tape. And right where I have my brads, you know, after you open them up and flatten them, I put a piece of tie-vac over top of there. And, you know, make sure it's down, but make sure this is covered. So the pieces, if they stick out, they won't break through your scrapbook paper. The tie-vac is really strong, and it'll keep them on there. And when I put my piece of when I put my little piece of tape, my little piece of when I put my lining inside of my box in, I cut it so that it's covered over, and when I put my tape in, you're not going to see that tie-vac, and it's going to have just a nice clean edge there. Okay? And the way I lined the bottom of my box, going around all the edges, I lined the top the same way, so when I'm ready to put my pieces in, of course the sides will be shorter pieces, you know, to make them fit in there. But just like if I put my bottom in, when I'm done, all I have to do is lay it in there. And you know, once I put the edges on there, you won't see anything. Okay. Next, I'm going to make my top, my little, I'm going to make my box, my drawer that sits on top. And then I'm going to show you how I make the, make my little risers that I put in the four corners that holds my shelf. And that'll be my box all together, and it'll you know, it's all decorated. Like I started putting the ribbon on it, and I'm going to do some decorations on the top, and that's how nice and neat the back looks. And I'm going to show you how I do the risers next. Okay, now that we got the box all done, I want to show you how to do the little columns that hold up the little drawer, which is nothing but a box without a lid on it. It's just the same construction as the bottom and the four sides as I made for the bottom and the top. What I did was I wanted mine 4.5 inches wide, 4.5 inches tall. So for my measurements, I need a 4.5 by 4.5 inch piece of, this is chipboard. I buy chipboard, well sometimes I buy chipboard at Joann's at the store, not the one online. The one online gives you the real nice thick chipboard that I make all my things out of. The ones in the store gives you, you get the thick one, and then you get a black one which is a thinner, and then you get a white one which is real thin. And this is the one that I made the corners out of. And so I have a 4.5 by 4.5 piece, and I'm going to score it at 1 inch, 2 inch, and 3.5 inches. This way it'll fit perfectly in the corner. This is, I think it's called a right triangle. And so I'm going to fold it on the score lines. And then it'll fold. A right triangle is where you have 2 equal sides and then a longer side, and it makes a 90-degree angle. And I like my open piece to be to the back of the wall, so I put my extra piece over there. So I'll need my tape here. Okay, and then that makes my triangle. Now on the 2 sides that are equal, because mine are, I made mine the 1 inch sides, and that way then I had to make this 1.5 inches to make it at a 90 degree. And then I'm going to put the piece of on the 2 sides that are the equal sides. Those are the ones that's going to go into the corner. And I'm going to put our tape on there. I've been working with glue, so my hands are really sticky. And I like my tape all the way up to this corner so that it sticks in the corner, not just on the sides. So I just use a thinner tape. You can use the same size, it should fit, but I had the thin handy, so I tried it and it works. Okay, I already did the 3 sides inside the box already. And that is my tray inside the box. It's sitting on those little risers in the corner. And all I did was to have my what is this? My arm or whatever, control arm. It's a piece of Grosgrain ribbon, and I just made it, cut it at an angle, and I used the hot glue, and I glued it to the lid and to the inside of the box. And the way I did that, I just took some washi tape and I put the one end inside the box, stretched it out so that the lid stays right where I want it to stay. Then I propped stuff up behind it to make it come up to the level that I wanted it to be. And then I just took the other piece, laid it down, used another piece of washi tape, and I did this like at the top. So then I just would lift up the bottom, glued it onto the bottom, and then stuck it down. And I did the same thing with the top one. And that way it's not glued right at the very beginning. So when it closes, plus this way with the washi tape, your paper doesn't tear. When it closes, you notice that this folds in all by itself. Okay, now let's get back to the corner. We're going to work in this corner over here. So you're going to take your tape off on both sides, both pieces of tape. if you want to, you can like cover this so you don't see the hole, but it doesn't bother me, so I didn't cover it. Okay, and then the way that I put it in, I put it so that these two corners here touch the sides, and the back is still up a little bit in the air. Okay, I had to get my head in there so I could see. Like that. And when they're touching the sides, then I kind of like slowly bring it down and squish it into the sides there. And just give it a push. And it's all the way down at the bottom, and it's all the way into the corners. And that tape will hold it. Then you have your tray that sits right on top of there, and it closes. This piece goes in, and it closes right around there. And that's the completion of your box. The dimensions for my tray that I have in here is 8.5 by 7.5 for the bottom. The two short sides are 7.5 by 2, and the two long sides are 8.5 by 2. And then you use the same method with your straps to put it together with your straps and your straps on your sides. I just haven't covered the inside yet because I wanted to show you how I put the risers in. And they sit right on the riser. There's plenty of room inside so that it doesn't smush your paper. And now all I got to do is I'm going to cover the inside, make my mini album to go with this one, and then I'm going to decorate this one up like I did the other one. And that's the completion of the video on how I made the box with the tray. And there it is. Thank you very much for watching my video. Bye-bye.